Hey guys, today I'm going to be testing lots of things in Battlefront 2, which, isn't super specific, but I'll be going over what's the fastest way to travel, how good are hitboxes, and testing the drop-off of guns. In this video, you'll really learn a lot more about the game, which can help you out. If you're just interested in one of these topics, then you can skip ahead by looking at the timestamps on this video. Also, let me know down in the comments what else you want me to test. I'd be happy to do more of these videos, but now getting into the video. So, the first thing I'm testing is the fastest way to travel. I'm just going to be testing out different methods of traveling, not every way of course, but I'm just going to be measuring how long it takes them to get from point A to point B, and that's going to be their time. So I'm starting off with kind of a control run of just a normal class run, and that comes out at 4 seconds and 5 frames. Then is a lightsaber control run, and as you'll see here, that comes in slightly lower of a time with 3 seconds and 2 frames. Next, I want to see if doing jump swings makes that time go any faster. So here I am doing just quick jump swings this time, and that does come in with a shorter time of 2 seconds and 54 frames, which isn't massively shorter, but it's helpful. Next is just using Luke's dashes to see how much of a speed boost you get, and with just using 2 of them, it is once again slightly faster of 2 seconds and 53 frames. Next is the Assault's Vanguard. This is a common way to get around the map fast and something a lot of people use. So, is it faster than a lightsaber? Still no, and it comes in with a time of 3 seconds and 9 frames. Next is testing the Jet Trooper. Obviously they have a jetpack, so this should be pretty fast, and that comes in with a time of 1 second and 55 frames. Next is just the First Order Jet Trooper, and this is going to be really fast and come in with a time of 1 second and 46 frames. That is obviously one of the fastest so far, and now is Boba Fett, seeing if he can match that. But he can't quite be as fast, and that comes in with a time of 2 seconds and 7 frames. The next thing I am testing are the hitboxes in Battlefront 2, mainly just to see how accurate they are. The first is just using the base weapons and up close to seeing how accurate they are. As you can see here, the hitboxes are mostly accurate, but as long as the crosshair from here is touching the person, then I find most of the time it hits, especially to the head at least. Aim assist is turned off here, so it's not going to be locking on like that. Once again here, the feet have quite bad hitboxes, so a lot of the time when you shoot them, it doesn't register, so you have to be shooting at basically the ankles. Next, for medium range, I'm testing pretty much the same thing to see if I get any difference. Once again, if you aim just outside, it will still hit. Of course, if you hit right on, it'll still hit. Except for the feet, I find that the hitboxes are pretty good when you aim at them. If you're aimed accurately, then you're not going to miss, and it won't glitch out. Once again, except for the feet, but if you're aimed just outside, then you can still deal damage. So now finally for long range. Of course, at this point, it's hard to test it accurately to see if you're just outside or not. But as you can see here, if it's just outside, then it can hit. But once again, it's barely, and it's not really a big deal at long range. It's just about medium and close range that you might be just missing, and it still might hit. Alright, so next I am testing lightsaber hitboxes to see how close do you have to be to hit someone. Of course, as you can see right here, as you're just, looking close to them, you'll automatically hit them. But now you can start aiming just outside and you will still hit them. Once again, as I'm going farther outside, then hitting them, it'll still lock onto them. Once again, aim assist is off. So of course, obviously, if you're just aiming way out, you're not going to hit them. Once again, you're not going to hit them. Although as you get closer, you will eventually lock onto them. So as you eventually turn far enough though, your body will start changing, and at that point, that's when you can't hit them. So if you start aiming at someone, then turn, as long as you hit before you fully turned, you'll still lock onto them. As you can see here, the camera moves faster than the body turns, so as you move quickly, the body turns afterwards. And so even when you're looking to the side, your body hasn't fully moved, so you can still lock on and hit people. The next thing I am testing is the range of blasters. So obviously, for the example for the SC-44C, the drop-off starts at 15 meters, and we know that, but I want to put a good visual on it to see just how far away it is before you start doing bad damage. So once again, when you're this close, you're still going to be doing full damage, with a full damage of 29. So as you get farther away, still 29. But now as you get here, you can no longer be doing full damage as you get to this point, and it goes down to just, well, less. So next for the A280, at first this drop off is supposed to start at 20 meters, so it starts off with 99 damage if you hit all 3 body shots. So now at the range where the SC-44C dropped off, it should be still doing full damage, and it does at 99. So that all works out, but as you back up a little bit and shoot, you are now only doing 97 damage, so no, you're not doing full damage at this point. So it's just that fine line right there that you're doing full and not full damage. What I also wanted to test is the EL-16 HFE to see the damage it does. So normally it does 49 damage to the body. So as you back up, the drop off is supposed to be 20 meters, but I want to see if it really is the same as the A280. And so at this point, where the SC-44C was, it still does 49 damage. Now if you back up to the A280 spot and shoot, you're still doing 49 damage. Back it up a little and see if you can find that same line where it does damage and doesn't do full damage, and there you go, 48 damage. So it does have a line. Next, I'm testing the Jet Trooper to see the extent of their explosive damage. So obviously it does now it does 20 damage with not a direct shot. And now testing it from above to see how far away you can shoot before you stop doing 20 damage. So once again, right there, 20 damage. The foot is still 20 damage. It does not accurately get that. But shooting a bit farther now, still 20 damage. That's expected. That's pushing the line, but it's still at 20 damage. And that is the spot right there where you are no longer doing full damage. So it's a decent amount. There's a decent area there where you can do full damage, but I do find that the area drops off quickly to the point where you are doing no damage, which I guess makes sense. So next is Iden's secondary fire. At base, it does 150 damage, as you can see here, but it's going to be just like the Jet Trooper here, where we are going to be testing how far away it is that you can still be doing full damage, how good that damage is. So obviously at the feet, we're still doing 150 damage. So from slightly farther away, it's still 150 damage. So as you get farther away here, you're still doing 150 damage. And that's a decent amount of range right there, that you're still doing full damage, which I'm pretty impressed by. But then as you get farther away, you're not quite doing full damage anymore. It's now just 142, which is still very good. So, but then how far away is it until you fully drop away? That's the point. And that is the point, which is quite a good bit. And definitely proves her secondary fire is really good. At this point, even now, you're still doing decent amount of damage from there. Obviously, it's me standing so close, so maybe if I was standing farther away and shooting, it wouldn't be quite the same. But now you can see that is the spot where you just stop doing damage, which is quite a good amount. Definitely a lot of damage you can do, which means if there's a lot of people, you can deal damage to everyone. So finally, I just wanted to test how good aim assist is in this game. So as you probably know, it's this thing where if you're aiming slightly outside of the person, then aim assist will fix your aim when you zoom in and it'll snap onto the person. So this time, of course, I have aim assist turned on. So if you can see here, as I aim slightly off, I will still snap on. And then even farther away, as I'm going to go, just keep going in farther away here, it'll still snap onto the head, which is quite a good amount. So if this close, and then even with you shoot, sometimes it will lock on with aim assist, even when you're not zooming in. So it can be really useful, and really quite good. See, from out here, even though I'm not aiming right on it, it'll still do the headshot. See it? Well, at this point, when you're zooming that far out, it'll no longer lock on from when you're just shooting, but if you zoom in, you'll still be locking on, although no longer the head, and now just the body. This seems to be a pretty fine line where you start getting farther away and you just now lock onto the body and no longer the head, even when the head can be closer. So now from long range, which is a more normal distance at where you will be sniping people, so where it really matters and you'll see the effects of it most. Obviously, if you're pretty close, you'll still be doing headshots, and it'll still lock on though. So now aim assist doesn't quite help you quite as much now, and so you already gotta get your reticle pretty close to the person. But I mean, it's still useful, but you know, obviously if you're aiming from out there, it's not gonna work. But if you're aiming close enough, it'll still work. So then as I'm walking around, what I kind of feel is your crosshair slows down a little bit when you're on the person. Maybe that's just me, and I definitely feel like it didn't happen every time, but I feel like sometimes your crosshair would slow down just a little bit as you go over the person. But that's all for this video. Hopefully you've learned a lot in this video and you enjoyed it. It can be really fun to test out all these things, so be on the lookout for more of these videos. To do that, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. But I'll see you next time. Bye.